So now to introduce our special guest. So Peter, let's see, did Sam join us, Peter?
Sam is right here with me. He's
Awesome.
just
Okay.
woken up, so he's feeling a little shy.
That's okay. You can join us whenever you like, Sam. I'm going to introduce you and say a little bit about your sister and your dad. Okay. I just want to let you know. But if you can see your dad's screen, you'll see yourself on it. So our guests today are Peter Fargo and his family, especially Sam. I want to mention Rachel, even though she didn't make it today. She did an amazing job of speaking at the climate vigil on the steps of the Oregon Capitol. And Sam, who I hear is training to go backpacking and did a great job handing out lights for the vigil, is with us. Their mom is also somebody who's high on my list of people I'd like to get to know better, as are they all. Peter is a former U.S. Forest Service Public Affairs officer. He lives in Eastern Oregon and is working to engage parts of the state that have needed help like his to connect to the importance of protecting our climate. To do this, and to help people of all faith backgrounds connect their faith to the need to protect our climate, he founded Climate Vigil. He's the dad of Sam and Rachel. He's also the chief petitioner to get a constitutional amendment to the Oregon State Constitution, making clear our right to a healthy environment and stable climate. A movement across the country, which he is helping to light. Some of you know how powerful this is because you've heard about the Montana state case, Held versus Montana, the local version of the Juliana case, the federal youth climate lawsuit. He's also a founding leader of OSERA, the Oregon Coalition for an Environmental Rights Amendment. I liked him even before I met him. Both of us were at the Climate Action Fair recently, important that some of you heard the guest speaker, Michael Human, talk about. I went around to tell people about the Juliana case and Elders Climate Action and my own nonprofit. And I soon heard from multiple people, oh, Peter was just telling us about that. It wasn't long before I went up to talk to the person who turned out to be Peter and who was telling everybody about the Juliana case. Not often you table at an event and someone else does your work for you. So I give you fellow climate activist parent, Peter Fargo, and hopefully Sam. Thank you so much for joining us, Peter.
Thank you, Pam. Thank you to you all with the Environmental Voter Project. It is such an honor. And thanks for that generous introduction. I was wondering who you were talking about half the time. I'm still working on my sense of what's the word when we don't know whether we're the person who's doing these things and how we found the motivation to do that or the time. So that's me right now. I just want to say what you're all doing with this outreach to voters is so important. And you know that because you've already volunteered your time to phone bank for this cause. And I know that because of the experience that I've had in my hometown with my family, with my community, and a very severe environmental injustice. And that's one of the messages that I wanted to share with you today, which is the more that we can each connect with the personal stake, with the direct impact that we're feeling in environmental challenges in our community, in our family, and in ways that really impact our lives, the more that we can mobilize to take the action that we need to take at the state level and eventually at the national and international levels. So my experience began in 2019 when our son Sam was born. And Sam, whenever you're ready, you can come say hello to all these nice people who are protecting our environment. Do you want to say hi to them?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to turn my phone so you can see Sam. And Sam, you can just wave. There he is. So Sam is now 5.5 years old and he's getting ready to graduate from preschool. And he's also getting ready to go into kindergarten. We're so proud of him. But here he is, he's ready. So five and a half
Sam,
years ago.
let me jump in for just a sec. Sam, I want to tell you too that my friend Dinkin is on this call He's a little older than you. Okay, he's a lot older than you, but he's younger than most of the folks on the call. And he's been doing some things like your sister did the other day. Okay, I'll butt out now. Go for it.
Yeah, thank you. So 5.5 years ago, when Sam was born, we had been struggling for about 2 years with sleeping in our own bedroom, in our own home. And that's because of the Union Pacific Railroad that goes right through Baker City, bisects our community of about 10,000 people, and blows a horn 4 times on the approach to every crossing. And those crossings are times 5 or 6 in our town. And then we have probably 25 to 30 trains that go through town on a daily basis, every 24 hours, at all hours. So you do the multiplication, and it's a major part of life in Baker City. And probably, I would guess, if you have a railroad going through your town and you don't have a quiet zone established, a big part of your experience and an impact on your community too. So for us, it was a shock to move into our home in Baker City in 2017 and realize that we couldn't sleep through the night in our own bedroom. Even though we were 7 blocks from the train, there was no requirement for disclosure from previous owners of our home. And there was this sense of a home invasion every night. That our privacy had been violated, and our health had been compromised. And then when our son was born in 2019, it all fell apart for us. It's hard enough to be a mother and to get through those sleep deprived months or years. It's even harder when there's a train horn going through your town that sounds like a crying baby. And my wife and I found ourselves waking up at all hours and going into a sleep deprived postpartum depression. And it was especially severe for my wife Anna. So that's when something primal happened in me, you might say. There was a sense of I need to be the protective parent that I can be right now because my family is under attack. And that's when I started organizing in Baker City and, like you're doing, contacting people to say what's important to you when it comes to your environment. What is something that you'd like to do? What's something that you'd like to see change? And are you willing to vote? Are you willing to show up at a city council meeting? Are you willing to sign a petition? We asked people to do all of those things. And 9 months later, we had a city council meeting in Baker City that had every seat filled and was standing room only. It was something out of a movie. And every single city councilor voted to support our quiet zone project. And we had the benefit of LeGrand, our neighbor to the northwest, that had achieved a quiet zone in 2019 and did it very affordably so we could address all these questions that were coming up. So I will fast forward to 2021, coming out of that heady experience and feeling like we can do this, we will do this. And then getting to 2021, we had sort of a post-pandemic shuffling of our city council and a new city councilor, a mayor, who, for some reason, because of a personal vendetta with another former city councilor who supported our quiet zone project, decided that our project needed to die. And that's when we had to mobilize again. And it was an unbelievable experience of meeting with every new city councilor and sharing the story again. And then we had a city councilor who had to resign because of health reasons, or perhaps because of the stressful city council culture that she was facing. We then had a new person who came in, and I had the opportunity to meet with them. And this gentleman saw the video from our city council meeting and saw our packet, saw the information, and the first thing that he was willing to do was stick his neck out and support the project. So in January of 2022, we had 4 city councilors out of 7 who said, yes, this project will go forward, and we're going to put it all in writing and give all of the authority to the city staff so it never comes back to the council again. Get it done and let us know if there's anything we can do to help. So I just wanted to share that little experience because for me, the climate crisis is like uh, this train horn. It is a severe impact, not just on our environment in a general theoretical sense, but it's a severe impact on my kids, my family, my wife, myself, my friends, my neighbors, my community. And I think of climate change or the climate emergency as a runaway train. I think of it as an unaccountable railroad company that finds it inconvenient to uh, help us with our environmental injustice, finds it too costly to make the change that we need to protect our families and our communities. And that's why now I think about joining with all of you in getting in the way of runaway climate change as my personal mission. That's something that we can do together on any environmental issue that impacts us in our communities, and that's something that we can do at the statewide level. So I'll just pause there and see if Pam,
Thank
you'd
you
like
so
me to
much,
address
Peter.
anything else.
That's awesome. I just put in the chat 2 links, one to the video you did, the great short video on the climate vigil, and also a link to the Oregon Coalition for an Environmental Rights Amendment in case you want to learn more about that. So I have a new fun experience with Zoom I've never seen before. So some of you other folks who are experienced, my like whole toolbar thing just disappeared. Have you ever seen this? So that's a little weird. So I'm gonna have some problems with things like I can screen share, but the other stuff has disappeared. So if anything about that, let me know. Thank you so much, Peter and Sam, for coming today. We really appreciate it. We have a guest speaker coming up in a few weeks. I'm not sure the date yet exactly who's joining us for Phone Bank today. So that's one of the really cool special things about today. I want to invite you all. If you have already done the training, this is where we're calling today. Thanks again so much for coming, Peter and Sam. I figure you have other things to do than do phone calls today, but you can always join us and let us know if you want to do some postcarding because we still have a few slots. Can we do a postcarding together as a family or with friends and neighbors? And same for all the rest of you as well.
Thank you all for your important work. Look forward to collaborating in the future.
Yeah, thank you so much. Okay.